It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
So the big news today is how this might be the best hero that's ever been added to Hero Wars. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Her full skills, role, position, artifacts have been revealed. There is some information that we are missing, but we have the Facebook and web version of her skills, and we have the mobile version of the skills. Just taking a quick look at some of the things that are the same on both. Marksman hero, backline, agility hero, physical attack, artifact weapon, critical hit chance, physical attack, book. Agility is the ring, right? On mobile, she is a Way of Progress hero, Way of Progress. Benefits from Way of Progress, buffs and debuffs and all of that. Let's see, the Power of the Tombs. All enemies take damage, allies restore health. Hits the entire board. Enemies take damage, allies take health. Enemies take damage, allies restore health. We don't know what the equation is for the damage and healing yet. We don't know if it's based on physical attack. We don't know if it's based on health. We don't know if it's based on critical hit. We just don't know yet. Additional passive effect that's active all of the time. All of the time, Lara Croft's basic attack fires 2 shots. Fires 2 shots. Does that mean that she gains double energy on basic attacks? I don't think so. I think it still counts as 1 attack. For those of you that don't know, whenever a hero attacks, they gain 10% of their energy, right? 10. So I don't think that she gains 20%. I think it's just 10. The green ability temporarily focuses, increasing your critical hit chance and critical hit damage from 200 to 300%. The Facebook and web says focuses for 6 seconds, increases her critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So they are slightly worded differently. The Facebook and web says this has got a 6-second charge time, but does not show what the ability does. The mobile version doesn't talk about the charge time, like how long it takes to activate the ability. Increases, but it does say that her critical hit and critical hit damage go from, her critical hit chance and critical hit damage go from 200 to 300%. I don't know that she has a 200% critical hit rate. I think the wording on the mobile version is wrong. Does it trigger Daredevil? So Charles Ferry is another great question. I don't know. I don't know. That's the first thing that I thought of as well. Focus fire on mobile, talking about the gray ultimate ability, but I don't know if it counts. I don't know if it counts as a second attack like Dark Star's Dark Clone or whatever ability does. We'll find out. We'll definitely find out in the very near future, right? So I don't know exactly how this green ability is going to work. Increasing the critical hit damage from 200 to 300%, that makes sense. I'm assuming the 200 to 300% is just referencing the critical hit damage, not the critical hit rate. It might double the critical hit rate. You know, we have heroes in the game like Yasmin that get up to basically 100% critical hit rating with their abilities. But both of these abilities are basically the same. There might be some slight differences between the time it takes to focus. And does this mean that she can't do anything else for 6 seconds? Is that what that means? I don't know. Blue ability on Facebook and web, explosive arrow at the center row. All enemies in the radius receive damage and are stunned. On mobile, arrow in the central row. All enemies are damaged and are temporarily stunned. So we have a center line stun. Okay, center line stun with a little bit of damage over time. I'm assuming it's a little fire damage over time. Usually fire damage over the time is pure damage. Usually, not always, but usually it's pure damage. You know, again, we don't know what any of these skills are based off of. We don't have the equations just yet. We will, like, probably in the next couple of days, though, right? And then finally, the most broken ability for defense in the entire history of Hero Wars for both versions of the game, Lost Knowledge. All right, so we already know that her artifact weapon is physical attack on both versions of the game, right? Each time Lara Croft uses her ultimate ability, she activates a random effect on top of her physical attack. Each time Lara Croft uses Power of the Tombs, which is her ultimate, she activates a random artifact with a special effect. Each subsequent use of Power of Tombs adds 1 more random artifact effect. Okay, increases her physical attack for the duration of the battle, is different. Okay, on Hero Wars Mobile, increases her physical attack for the entire duration of battle. I don't know if this is a typo, if it's misworded. My assumption is that this on mobile, even though it doesn't say, because see on here on Facebook and web, it says when she uses Power of the Tombs. On this skill, it says increases her physical attack for the duration. I don't know if this is just like a flat physical damage increase on mobile, or if it's referencing the physical attack that she gains when she uses her ultimate, if that sticks forever. I don't know how that works just yet. But then she unearths a random artifact shard, and embeds it into her artifact weapon. Subsequent uses of the ultimate ability additionally activate the effect of the unearthed artifact. Possible artifact bonuses: magic attack, armor, magic defense, armor penetration, magic penetration, critical hit chance, evasion, that is dodge, right? Bonuses cannot repeat. The power of the bonus depends on the current level of the hero's artifact. Same thing here. All of the stats, bonuses cannot repeat. The power of the bonus depends on the current level of Lara Croft's weapon artifact and her violet skill level. So there's a couple question marks on the mobile version of the game. I think there's one big question mark on the Facebook and web as far as the green skill. And obviously we're missing a lot of the stats for all the skills here. But one of the things that these top 1% players, pride themselves on, oddly enough, why you have so much pride and happiness about telling everyone that you use this, they rely on a tool to simulate results. And we all do it, right? Even people in my guild wants to train, wants to simulate, wants to use bots to test before we go into fights, instead of just using game knowledge, right? Game knowledge, I would be infinitely more prideful if I had the game knowledge. And if I don't win, I have fun with it. And everybody gets to laugh at me, right? Publicly. Which is part of the reason why I do it. This ability adds random effects to your team that is impossible to simulate. So now any team that has Lara Croft on defense, you cannot simulate against. You can't. We already have random number generation in this game with critical hit and dodge, and some heroes do have some random things as well that we hate, we don't like it, but the dodge and critical hit values, generally speaking, can be simulated against. It's tougher to have a guaranteed outcome from simulation to actual fight with heroes that have critical hit and dodge. But this is going to be basically impossible. This is going to be basically impossible to sim against. And I'm happy about it, honestly. The bots, all of those bots that people have been, paying for and all of that stuff, they're not going to work as well. They still will work to a degree, right? But, the thing is like you have to really plan for extra armor artifacts. You have to plan for extra dodge artifacts in a team, right? And this is why Dante is so popular on Facebook and web. It's not because he's a good hero. It's because he can randomly just win. If you throw Nebula behind Dante and you happen to have Sebastian or Jet on your team as well, he can randomly just win. He can randomly just win when the team is not supposed to win. And you got a defense, a very small percentage of a defense, a timeout or a loss, if Dante is defending on Facebook and web. Kind of like Peppy. Kind of like Peppy. I don't know why Peppy isn't used more often, honestly. But I think this is going to be the hero that top level players are going to use on defense to get defensive victories where they never have before. Now, I got a lot of questions about this. We talked about this yesterday. You are going to only be able to get soul stones for her during this event. Never again. From what I understand, you can only get her soul stones during this event. You can only get her weapon fragments probably only during this event, but maybe elsewhere. Weapon fragments are a little different. Now, it's called Lara's Jade Necklace, which makes me think that they are going to take it away. I think they're going to take it away. So this is kind of crazy to me because of the random nature of this is going to be such an important hero to have on basically every version of the game, right? On basically every single version of the game. And if you don't have a team set up to utilize marksman, maybe you haven't leveled up the marksman tree, either the marksman glyphs on Hero Wars Mobile or the marksman ascension tree, Tree of Wisdom on Hero Wars Facebook and web, probably need to start investing into that. The good news though, guys, is they'll probably do another collaboration with another IP, and that hero will be also just as broken. Yeah, so this hero is probably going to be the best hero for defense that this game has ever seen. Stick her next to Darian so she doesn't die. Maybe, I don't know, boost her damage output with Nebula, maybe put her behind Daredevil on mobile for a little fire support fun. I don't know how I feel about it.